Hello, Hana the Suburban Witch here, and welcome back to Troubleshooting for Witches. This is episode 3. Why are my divination predictions not coming true? As I said, this is episode 3 of this series. You can find episode 2, which is why are my cards not making sense, and episode 1, why are my spells not working, in this playlist. If you're new to me, I'm Hana the Suburban Witch. I'm a professional tarot reader, astrologer, divination coach. I teach people divination. This is my specialty. It's my thing. It's my jam. And the host of the Witch Talks podcast, which you absolutely need to listen to. I promise you will learn something new with every single episode. So let's get into it. Your divination predictions are not coming true. This is obviously a huge question. Huge, because it depends on a lot of things. What style of divination are you doing? What questions are you at? There's a lot of things to it. And so without being able to know the specific reason why you found this video and what's going on for you, I'm just going to be able to give a generalized answer. But if you want a more specific one, you can definitely submit a question to the Hana Help Me section of the Witch Talks podcast. So hey Hana, I am asking X, Y, and Z of my tarot cards or my pendulum or my chiromancy, and it's not working out the way I think it should. How come? That sort of extra detail I can answer on the podcast. But just in a broad arching manner, why is my divination not coming true?
I'll give you a winter prediction. It's going to be cold, it's going to be gray, and it's going to last you for the rest of your life.
There's a few things that can be going wrong here. Number 1, the future is changeable. So that means you might be glimpsing, and when we're doing divination for foretelling, right? We're doing predictive divination. We might be getting a glimpse of something that is a possible future. That doesn't mean it's going to absolutely happen that way. There are a lot of things that can change that. Does that mean that predictive fortune telling is not true? Absolutely not. Some forms are going to be much more accurate, such as astrology. Predictive astrology is far more accurate than using your tarot cards in that regard, unless you use the astrology aspects of the tarot cards, which is a whole nother story. But with most of them, the longer you're looking in the future, the further in the future, the harder it is to pinpoint. The more people involved in whatever you're predicting, the harder it is to get it right. So the first step in troubleshooting is going to be, what type of question are you asking? Are you asking really far in the future? If so, bring it back. Ask something about tomorrow. Ask something about this afternoon. Make sure you're getting high accuracy on those closer ones that are just about you, not about anybody else, and then see what happens. You can start pushing it out from there. That's the very first step I would be getting you to do. When we're doing predictive things as well, you need to be tracking this. I track all of my readings that I do for myself and my close friends and family, and I follow up. I'm like, hey, we said in your Wheel of the Year spread, so sometimes people will book a guidance call with me for 1 hour, and we will look at the whole year ahead. So I'll pull a card for every single month of the year and give an estimate on what we're going to be doing. Now with, for example, myself and my husband and close friends and stuff, I will call them up and be like, hey, yo, we said that you would get sick this month. Are you sick? And they're like, oh my God, I had COVID. I'm like, whoa! That has happened. And that happened with my husband as well. There's been some wild things. And that gives me what I need to make sure that my accuracy is high enough that I can charge people for this stuff, right? This is what I do for a living, because I know my accuracy is 80%, which is the industry average. Mine's 80% plus. So track it. Track your stuff. The next thing is your questioning as well. Are you asking, will this happen? I'm not a fan of that. Will I get this publishing deal, right? If there's so much around that, you're probably better off doing something like a percentage likelihood. So sometimes I will do that, and I'll try and get, literally with the tarot cards, I will do what percentage am I at the moment, in this current moment, likely to get this contract I want, this deal that I want, whatever it is. And it might say like 70%, and there'll be something that's like reversed or whatever's happening to tell me that other thing's not happening. I'm like, okay. And I do more divination. I say, how can I increase these chances? How can I improve this? And then I'm overall going to be like, yeah, look, it's pretty likely that's going to happen. That is one way to do it. Sometimes it can be best, however, to not ask a question, because that's guiding it, right? It's almost like feeding the answer into the question. When I'm doing predictive stuff, I much prefer to just see what comes out. So for my year ahead spread, right, I will pull a card for the 12 months of the year, January to December. And you can do this at any time of the year. It doesn't have to be only in January. I do mine in January, but like you could book me in August and we'd go from August to August, right? We can do that. But what I do is I pull a card. I'm not asking anything other than like, what's the energy? What's the vibe in this month, right? I'm not saying, will we get a book in this month? Will we get this deal in this month? Will I get a new job in this month? No, I'm not looking at that. If I want to know the best timings for things like that to happen, if that's something I want, if you're looking at something you want to happen, that's different, right? That's different. I'd be looking at things like your astrological year. So that's the sun as it travels through the houses. So for example, I have friends that have lost a job and I'm like, hey, the sun's going to be in the 6th house in February for you. That's the best time for you to actually get a new job. And then lo and behold, that's usually when they get a new job. So that's probably best for when you want a specific outcome. But when you're just trying to see and predict something that might happen or get a vibe or the energy, no question is better than a question, or just the general what's going to happen. I feel like I went on a really fast rant there, so I hope that helped. Now, lastly, it's going to depend on the type of divination that you're doing. As I've kind of mentioned as well, like astrology, tarot. If you're doing like tea leaf reading, you can do timing spreads in the cup. Chiromancy, you could do that as well. It just depends how familiar you are with the type of divination that you're doing. Pyromancy, like if you're staring into the flames, you're probably not going to get like dates and times and that sort of thing in terms of really specific predictions, but you might be able to see what's coming up, right? It just depends how good you are at the craft of whichever type of divination you're doing. I hope all of that makes sense. Please let me know. It's really hard to distill the nuances down to something that will help, but I hope some of this has helped you. Change up track your predictions, change the way you're asking questions, try a different type of divination that might work better for you. I think that was my main points. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this one. As I said, I teach divination in the Art of Psychic Divination Level 1. You can sign up at suburbanwitchery.com/courses to get on the wait list. I only open enrollment twice per year for new students. Hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world today, and I will catch you next time.